The house I moved into already knew my name. When I first toured the house, the estate agent kept calling it quiet. Not peaceful, not calm, but quiet. It sat at the end of a narrow cul-de-sac, pressed up against a line of dead trees that looked burned rather than fallen. The windows were clean, the paint was fresh, and everything smelled faintly of bleach and old wood. It should have felt empty. Instead, it felt held. Like the house was waiting for something to settle back into it. I ignored the feeling. I needed the space, the price was right, and the agent avoided my eyes every time I asked why the previous owners left so suddenly. I moved in on a Monday. The first thing I noticed was the silence. No traffic noise, no birds. Even the usual background hum you don't realize you hear until it's gone was missing. When I shut the front door behind me, the sound didn't echo. It died immediately, swallowed by the walls. That night, I slept better than I had in years. Too well. It felt strange. I woke just before dawn with that lingering confusion you get when you don't remember dreaming at all. My body felt heavy, like I hadn't moved the entire night. I rolled over and froze. Someone had written on the bedroom wall. The words were carved into the paint, shallow but deliberate, running horizontally above the skirting board like a child practicing handwriting. Welcome home. I stumbled out of the bed and flicked on the light. The letters didn't change. No shadows, no trick of the dark. I ran my fingers over them and felt the grooves beneath the paint, edges still rough. I didn't call the police. I told myself there was a rational explanation. Some leftover vandalism I hadn't noticed. Stress, even fatigue. Anything but what my gut was screaming at me. I painted over it that afternoon. By evening, the house had changed. Not visibly, not in any way I could point to and explain. But the air felt thicker, like it was pressing back when I moved. The silence had deepened, becoming oppressive rather than peaceful. That night I heard footsteps, slow and careful, pacing the hallway outside my bedroom. I held my breath and listened, counting the steps as they passed my door. They stopped. Something leaned against the door. I didn't hear breathing. I didn't hear movement, just pressure, like someone resting their forehead against the wood, listening for me to breathe again. In the morning, there were handprints on the door. Not smeared, not dusty, but indented, like the wood had softened and remembered the shape. I started noticing other things. The spare bedroom door was always ajar, no matter how many times I closed it. The mirror in the bathroom fogged even when no one had showered. The house creaked in places that shouldn't bear weight, as if someone was standing just out of sight. By the third day, I found a box in the basement. It sat in the center of the concrete floor, untouched by dust, sealed with yellow tape. Written on the lid in black marker were my initials, not the ones I used. The full ones, first, middle, last. My hands shook as I got it open. Inside were photos, hundreds of them. The house from different angles, different years, different seasons. Always the same structure, slowly changing as renovations were made, extensions added, paint colors updated. And in every photo, someone was standing in the doorway. Different faces, different ages, but always the same posture. Head slightly tilted, arms hanging loosely, eyes fixed on the camera. On the bottom of each photo was a date. I found the earliest one buried near the bottom. The person in it looked confused, afraid. The date was from 47 years ago. The most recent photo was on top. It showed the house as it is now, and me, standing in the doorway, keys in my hand, taking from inside the house. That night, the silence broke. The walls began to whisper, not words at first, just the sound of many voices speaking at once, muffled and overlapping like a crown behind the thick glass. As the hours passed, individual phrases began to emerge. Don't sleep. It learns you faster that way. I tried the locks. I painted it over too. I ran for the front door. It didn't open. The handle turned and the lock clicked, but the door wouldn't move, like the frame had shifted around it. That's when I noticed the new writing. The words were etched deeper this time, running from floor to ceiling on the wall beside the door. You stayed. I'm in the spare bedroom now, the only room where the door still closes. Footsteps are back in the hallway, slower than before, heavier. Every time they pass, the floor dips slightly like the house is leaning into them. Something is scratching on the inside of the walls, and I can hear someone whispering my name. Only they're saying it the way you would after knowing someone for years. Soft, familiar, patient, like they've been waiting for me to remember why I came back.